We're doing some last-minute maintenance and one final trip in our Searay before getting it sold, and then we are flying to Italy to go do some sailing. It's our final few days on our 2001 Searay 340 Sundancer, and we parked it at Stuart, Florida to get it ready to sell. I had only put about 100 hours on the engines, but it was time for an oil change. We got flights booked home for later in the week, but my job for now is to get everything working properly on the boat. I mean, it's not like it's not really working properly. We have the starboard engines giving me a little bit of headache, but it's got to be something simple to fix. I'm gonna change the oils. I'm gonna change the fuel pump on that engine, do a few other things, and then take it out for a test run in the next couple days. Make sure everything's working correctly, because I think I have a buyer for the boat. But right now I'm gonna change the oils. What I like to do when I'm taking the other old oil filter off is I put a plastic bag around it before I start unscrewing it. The new filter right here, so that I can pull the other one out. You dab a little oil around the seal here to make sure it can get a good seal and it doesn't really, and it doesn't tear when you're screwing it in. But I put a plastic bag around it because there's always gonna be a little bit of oil dripping out. So yeah. So now my hands are already oily, so I'll just rub a little oil of the old stuff there and then screw this thing back in. I should have brought a Sharpie so that I can write the date and the hours on here. It's synthetic oil. You can go 200 hours or so, and then just hand tight. Nothing crazy on there. All right, so that is one filter change, and then zip lock up this guy so it doesn't spill everywhere. You got one. Now this is my oil extractor. It's just uses suction and a hose here, and you stick it right down, and you pull the dipstick out and you stick it right straight down in the dipstick hole. Sucked all the old oil out, about what, 6 quarts there or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, about 6, whatever. And put the new oil in. Give it a moment to get down to the bottom of the oil pan there, and then I will test the level. Well, I've been having problems with the starboard engine dropping RPMs. It's some kind of fuel issue, not 100% sure what it is. But one of the easiest things to change is the fuel pump. These motors use an electric fuel pump like this one right here. And it's real simple. I mean, it's already got a plug here. You just disconnect the fittings, and I can see this little fitting here is bent a little. So maybe that has something to see how that's like not straight. So maybe there's something in there. Anyway, so you just disconnect a couple fittings, pop it in line, and so I already bought a new one. Should be just basically replace it. So, I mean, it's already got the pigtail on it and everything with the proper connections, so I'm just gonna change out the fittings, and then we're good to go. Well, I think I discovered the problem here. So I just got the filter apart and the little fittings apart, and there's like a pre-screen before the fuel pump, and that is totally clogged with crap, and I'm sure that's causing the problem. So at some point I got some nasty fuel. I don't know how it didn't go through the main fuel filter, because it's, oh, you know what? Yeah, this is before the fuel filter, which is maybe a bad design. Got the screen all cleared out, replaced the fuel pump. Let's start her up. I gotta turn it up. All right, so when I turn the ignition to on, I heard the fuel pump come on, so now I'm going to start it. So it's working fine now. What was happening before, I noticed even when we weren't putting a load on it, is I increased the RPMs. It'd say I want to go to 2,000. It would hit 2,000, it would back, even without a load on the motor, right? Not transition, just in neutral. It would hit 2,000 and roll back. And this just hits 2,000 and stays there. What we're gonna do here, I'm gonna put all my tools away, and then we're gonna take this thing for a test run, see if it works. The beautiful Amanda helped me get off the dock, and we took it out for a test run.
All we gotta do is just go out here,
See if it'll make power. I hope it does. We'll see. Get outside the marina, outside the little mooring area, give it the power and see what happens. And then we're going across the way over there. They got, you know, the town dock where we can go to get lunch.
Let's see it.
All right, let's see what happens. There you go.
Is it where we want it?
It's better. It's better. I mean, it was giving me 3,500 RPM, but that's all it gave me. So that tells me there's still fuel clogged somewhere. I mean, I was only able to get like 3,200 RPM before. Now I'm getting 3,500 RPM after cleaning that out. So there's still a fuel clog somewhere. But yeah.
Do you still think it's from getting bad fuel?
I think we got bad fuel in Staniel Key, and it caused the whole thing. And because remember, that's the first time we had a fuel problem was Staniel Key.
I remember that.
And so, yeah. All right, I'm gonna make sure this restaurant's actually open for lunch. It was just across the bay over to the Stuart Town Dock. So this is the Stuart Town Dock. You can't park overnight, but you're allowed to park during the day. So that's what we've done. We parked right here on our little test run. Gonna go over here to the waterfront restaurant and have lunch. Apparently we know people who work here too. Yeah, I don't know if they're working today, but we'll see. There are several restaurants at the end of the dock right in downtown Stuart. Pretty great spot to have a little lunch.
Yeah, not bad.
Cheers.
Are you gonna say something first, or am I gonna say something first? That place was great.
Yeah, nice little stop. Little town docks. You can come in. There's like, so you can actually, not just there. There's like the restaurant there. There's all the downtown where you can dock and all that. It's getting a little choppy out here.
It is.
Yeah, the wind's picking up a little. All right, so now back to the marina and park the boat, and I'm putting away. It'll be the last time we drive this boat.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
On to bigger and better, I guess.
Yeah, there's only a couple things I need done to this boat now. I need to have the fuel system cleaned out and figure out where the rest of that clog is. I'm sure it's in the fuel tank, honestly, at the pickup. So that'll be something. And then that's really about it. I got one other little tiny small thing to do, but hopefully its next owner will enjoy it.
Yes.
It was back to the boat. It'd be our last trip on her, just a half mile across the bay. It had been a great experiment taking this boat to the Bahamas and back, and she'd done everything we asked of her. Living on the 34-foot boat hadn't been too bad, and I'd do it again, but in hindsight, she used a lot more fuel than I was planning on. If I had to do it again, I'd probably go with a similar-sized trawler.
Hi.
Are you ready to say goodbye to the boat?
Yeah. I'm at peace with it. I think it's been wonderful, though. It's like treated us great.
Yeah, it's been nice. I think I'm gonna have to come back next week for a few days.
But yeah, I'm gonna head out. This is goodbye to the boat.
Yep.
But I just know it was like a good season, a good chapter, and we're gonna move on to something else that's wonderful. Yep. So it's okay.
All right, well, let's get your stuff to the truck.
Okay.
All right, got everything cleaned up and put away. Gonna pack up the camera and I'm gonna head to the airport and head home for, I might have to come back and get some work done on the boat. I gotta get the fuel tanks cleaned. I think that was the whole problem with the starboard engine. So I'm gonna have the tank cleaned, and then that's one or two little things to do the boat. And it's already under contract, so that'll be nice. It's under contract, get it sold. And then on to the new boat. So, all right, I'm gonna pack the camera up and I'll see you guys, I don't know, I guess the next video will be from Italy.
That would be the last time I was on the boat, and then we packed up and flew across over to the Med and Italy. We chartered this 2022 Dufour 53 sailboat on the Amalfi Coast. The Amalfi Coast area is home to some of the most iconic places in Italy. You have Positano, Capri, Amalfi, Sorrento, and much more. We're excited to bring you along with us as we cruise around there for a week.
All right, guys, welcome to Italy. This is Napoli, Italy, home of pizza, right? And we chartered this Dufour 53 for the week, and we're gonna take you sailing around the Amalfi Coast. Before we get into it, I'll introduce the crew and all that in a little while, but I'm gonna give you a quick tour of the boat while there's nobody really here, and it's somewhat clean because the girls are out grocery shopping. So it is a Dufour 53 2022 model. It is 6 cabins, 3 heads. I would prefer like 5 cabins, 4 heads, but whatever. I mean, we're using 5 cabins because we have 7 people here. So, but nice big beamy boat. We just found out it does have air conditioning. We were worried it didn't have air conditioning. And if you are curious, it cost 5,400 euros for the week. But you know, you split that 5 ways, that's not too bad for a week, right? So really not too bad. But I'm gonna give you a quick tour of it real quick. All right, it is Med mooring. So it's the Mediterranean, so it is Med mooring. This is your passerelle. Helps you get on and off. It does have a fold down transom, turns into your swim platform, and then there are your steps down there. Some of the bigger ones have like a dinghy garage you can put in there. This one does not have that. I think it might be an option on this boat instead of having the 2 aft cabins. But you have twin helms on either side here, but only engine controls on the starboard side here down below. So really, if you're driving the boat under power, you're using this because it also has a bow thruster. A 53-foot monohull, you really kind of need a bow thruster. This is the water maker controls. It does have a water maker. It's engine-driven water maker, so that's how you use it. Start and stop the engine there. You know, another helm over here, but hey, it's more just a drink holder, right? Oh, it's got some water in there. So these 2 wings fold up just like over there, so you can walk through. Coming into the cockpit here, nice and beamy. We have the Dodger down to get more airflow. We kept the Bimini top up, but you know, we're not expecting any bad weather here, so we're just gonna leave the Dodger down to get some more airflow. But I like how you can walk up to the bow using these little walkthroughs here instead of having to go over the seats. A lot of the smaller boats, you have to actually walk up onto the seats to get up here. So we'll come forward while I'm up here. I mean, not much to say up here. It is a self-tacking jib. So this little track is your self-tacking track, goes back and forth to your head sail up there, jib. We got a couple paddle boards to come with us. Coming up here, you got your chain locker and your windlass controls and all of that. Standard little Delta anchor. We're Med moored right here. These are called sand lines or lazy lines. So there's a mooring block out there that's holding us off the dock. We're gonna do that later on. So coming back here, this little tiny dinghy, which, I mean, you know, there's 7 people. That's really not gonna do much for us. But we may have to make multiple trips to some places. But hopefully we'll be doing some Med mooring and won't have to use it a whole lot. And then coming around the other side over here. It does have a couple solar panels up there, which is nice, but they're only like, you know, 100 watts each, so it's not doing a whole lot. So your main sheets and your Genoa sheets and all that, everything, jib sheets all come back here on either side. No powered winches on this. You know, whatever. Not that big a deal. And then I'll take you down into the salon. You can say hi to Mike, he's already here.
Woo!
So,
always take the red eye across the ocean, guys.
Yeah.
You will not be delirious by 3 p.m. It'll be fine.
So this is the salon. Whatever, it works fine. We just are happy we discovered that it has air conditioning, so we're good with that. Yeah. coming up here into the galley. You know, nice sized galley. The gimbaled stove and cooktop here under this. Double sink. I'm not even sure. Is this a refrigerator or this storage? Yeah, that's just pots and pans. But on your refrigeration on this side, you have a refrigerator and freezer on the bottom. The girls are out grocery shopping, so we're waiting on some more stuff there. Lots of storage here in the pantry. You know, storage under there, and then everywhere here. Cooking utensils, all that. Coming forward, there's 2 cabins forward that are mirror images of each other. You know, not a bad amount of space. They each have their own head, wet heads here. So they have one head on this side and then another head on this side. So coming aft, you've got a bunk room here on the starboard side. We will have one person using this. It's got its own hanging locker, pretty decent amount of storage. And then one thing, this is what I don't like right here, is it's got another bunk room, which we're using to store bags, which is not that bad, but I'd rather this be another head, because the problem is, okay, these cabins are basically mirror images. You got the cabin here, and then you got a cabin here. But this cabin, that cabin, and this cabin all have to share this head. It is a slightly bigger head, but you know, that just means, you know, a lot of people competing for space there. All right, there you go. It's a 2022 Dufour 4053. You know, all in, we're about $6,000 US. You know, but split, you know, if you split that among 3 or, you know, even 6 couples, if you really wanted to, that'd be a lot. You know, 4 or 5 couples, that's really not too bad for a week down here in the Med. Marinas are around 100 to 150 euros a night, and that's Med mooring, so you kind of need to know how to Med moor. And you do need to, if you're chartering in the Caribbean and the Med, you do have to have some kind of license. So, all right, well, the girls are out grocery shopping. As soon as they get here, we are on our way.
Please make sure you're subscribed to the channel so we can show you all the great places to sail around the Amalfi Coast, and then after that, we're headed to sail in Croatia. Thank you to our patrons and channel members for making this channel possible. They get early access to the videos as well as access to the uncut raw footage.